Video number 2 of Blade Assault on the Nintendo Switch. A physical cartridge that I obtained from the Maryland Library System. I'm going to try and knock this one out because I got a couple of other library games I'm trying to review. But since the weather is calm, the weather has gotten a bit less humid, I'm able to play. I'm going to break out my consoles. So we'll see how it goes. I don't want to go too crazy because obviously it's like still 90 degrees. It's just less humidity with it. But this is not the time of year where you want to break out a big hot furnace of a console or a gamer PC and try to play video games. Yeah, those load times here are really bad. Again, the load times are very awkward for a game this. Well, I don't want to say it's a 2D brawler with graphics that look like this. The load time should not be this bad. Oh well. Why be efficient? Okay, where are the controls? X button on the skill attack, ZR button on the sub attack. I might use the hyper core and the active gear later. I don't think that's going to be an issue yet. I can dash. I can play with the D-pad too, which is good. So I can make that work. I recovered my HP already? Yeah, I did. So we're good. Can't upgrade my weapons yet for anything useful. Yeah, I don't have enough red coins in the top right-hand corner of the screen to upgrade. So what can we do at this point? He can lower the danger level if we pay him, I guess. Different danger levels to each monster. Okay. By the way, I'm a grimly voiced anti-hero, in case you're wondering. So that's our vibe. I'm basically Batman. 5% not interested in that. Cost $300. On the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see the little blue 3. Below that, you see the little yellow 110. And to the right of that is the 1246. That's the amount of currency I have. I have a choice between an electric shock ability, which is what these electric cores are about. Or I can use the auto frost explosion, which I already have. So what did I actually equip? Like, where is that explained? Press the minus button, so I have 4 cores available. Okay, when a shock grenade explodes, additional shock grenades are released. Cause a frost explosion every 6 seconds. That sounds amazing, actually. It's a sub-weapon. I think that's mapped to one of the... I'll check and see what button that's mapped to. Increases max... Yeah, that's obvious. Okay. Shock grenade explodes. Yes, this is like create shrapnel. Shock shrapnel. Sounds really interesting, actually. It seemed pretty interesting the last time I played this game. And let's see... The controls... Sub-weapon is mapped to ZR. Okay, that's important. So we'll stick to that for now. I think this game's going for something of a Dead Cells vibe. So it's a roguelite with like rooms, and you have to clear the enemies out of the rooms. You're not really exploring so much. You're just kind of going to a room, killing everyone in it, then picking a door to take you to a different room. Kind of like Hades, kind of like Painkiller in a way. Smash TV, that kind of thing. I probably won't be able to play Smash TV on this channel unless it gets re-released somehow. Smash TV is not the kind of game I would ever buy, but I rented it when it came out in the Super NES, and it was like, nah. But I know a lot of people were huge fans of it when it came out. So where am I going? Where's the button I can use to get out of here? Yeah, here. Activate. There we go. That's the door out. This is basically the shop that appears between certain levels in Dead Cells. I do own Dead Cells in the Switch. I rarely whip it out because my Switch collection's gotten too big. It's another one of those games that I bought as soon as I got the Switch because I knew I loved it and I wanted to be able to play it on the go. I played it before work once. I'll come back and play it someday. In fact, I'm probably going to wind up playing it again when around Halloween time. ZL? No. ZR. That whiffed on that. The music is actually not bad in this game so far. Oh, all those explosions you see behind me are the auto frost. The auto frost explosions are getting whipped out every 6 seconds. Yeah, press ZR. Do I not have a ZR attack? There it is. That didn't do much. I don't think I hit anybody. So eventually when you take out the first wave, there's usually a pause. It gives you a chance to catch your breath, get some upgrades, and you can unleash the next wave. Let's get past this one first, shall we? X button. Nice! The Saw Boss Blades from Jason the Wheel Warriors in the Lightning League, I guess. That's why you're watching this channel, right? 80s cartoon references. What's this? For 50 gold, I can unlock this. Dealing damage to an enemy has a chance to cause bleeding. Enemies that are bleeding will see 50 damage. Ooh. It's a chance to cause bleeding. But it's not guaranteed, so I have 2 other choices. And I recover attained food, that might be okay. But I never attain chips, do I? Increases some weapons at my time. I'll take it, whatever. I really use my sub-weapons anyway. None of these upgrades seem to let you useful, I'm afraid. Yeah, well, you can get a treasure chest. You can get whatever treasures in here if you're willing to increase the danger level. Press the L3 button. On the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see the danger level up there. It's currently level 3, and that meter is still increasing. But it hasn't gone very far. It's barely 10% of the way up. Reviving elites will appear. Revive ones before it's being killed. Jeez. Elites will gain a max barrier. So that sounds like what is it? What's that game? Risk of Rain, the original Risk of Rain, where if you waited too long to take out the boss, enemies just got stronger. And I believe, yeah, the enemies got more difficult. The idea was you would power up your character, but you don't want to dilly-dally too long because then the enemies get really strong, which makes your boss fight even harder because they're constantly attacking you. Okay, so I can't really gain any power-ups here, can I? Yeah, A button to dash. It's on a 10-second cooldown. So we're gonna unlock the next wave in just a second. Yeah, we'll do that. X. Look out. Ow! That hurt. I was wondering why I couldn't whip out my ZR attack. Guess we stun locked him with all those attacks. Danger level's going up. Yeah, that meter goes up as long as enemies are on the field. So you gotta clear out these enemies ASAP. Don't let them stick around. I think I won. Danger level did not go up yet. But I do get a power up. Let's see what I get. So again, this whole idea of a Dead Cells-like choice every time you level up. Again, that's interesting. Zombie, what was that name? What was that game? Nation Red, I think it was called. The top-down dual-stick zombie game I played on this channel. It's a laptop-friendly game. It's on my low-spec gaming playlist. That game kind of has a similar idea where you're constantly leveling up. You're constantly being told, you're constantly being asked, how do you want to level up? What buffs do you want when you level up? What power-ups do you want now that you've leveled up? That kind of thing. I am a fan of that mechanic. I mean, I am a fan of that idea, of that design principle in video games. Let people choose how they level up. Reduces damage taken by 5%. Hooray. Recharges one frost arrow. What's a frost arrow? I might have accidentally chosen a frost arrow. I don't remember. Causes a frost explosion that freezes the enemies at the end of a dash. Well, whatever. I guess we'll just reduce damage. 5% damage reduction is kind of like a 5% increase to your life bar in a way. I guess you could think of it that way. yeah, think of it that way. It's a life extension. I didn't get any health. Yeah, I don't want that. I gotta figure out what I have to do to use the ZR attack. That super button attack. So if I go up, I can increase my heart core, I guess. And if I go to the bottom floor where this chip is, this shock chip, I can increase my shock core, which again determines what abilities are available here. Where's that listed? Right here. These are all my cores. So I have a choice to get a shock core if I complete that level. So the idea is what kind of power up core do I want? Well, I go through the door that will give me the power-up core that I want. I want to say Hades has a system like that, where you choose, okay, if I go through this door as a shop, if I go through this door, I can meet Aphrodite and get a power-up from her. Like, I believe that's how it works in Hades. It's been a while. I bought that game on I think it was either the Xbox One or the PS4. They were clearing them out of Best Buy a while ago. It was like $6 or $7, which is a fantastic price for a game like that. Hades is the kind of game where if it costs less than $10 and you like it, you definitely would snatch that up. Hades is available on the PS5. What do you get on the? I mean, does the game come in 4K? I want to say it runs at 60 frames a second anyway. I don't know if Hades is a game that looks better on the PS5. When the fire core appears, increases the chance. That's a highly specific upgrade. I don't like those incremental, those ridiculously convoluted, heavily conditional upgrades in games like this. Like, there's a 10%, increase the chance that you might get a rare thing to happen by 10%. Like, slightly increases your chance of winning the Pick 4 lottery by 5%. Like, what does that even mean? Increases the chances of lightning striking you by 1.1%. Increase cryo core damage by 7. Increases main weapon attack critical rate. Again, worthless. Increasing my crit rate by 3%? How is that in any way meaningful? If I increase it by 100%, you can double the likelihood. You can double the rate. But a 3% increase to the rate is really puny. What's the point of that? It's like they want to give you an upgrade. They don't want it to be game breaking. So the upgrade you get is so marginal, it might as well be worthless. Here they come. I thought I hit the ZR button. Here we go. We got magic mushrooms. The mushroom disappeared. Did I kill him? I think the frost explosion killed him. Yeah, the frost explosion's killing him. Legit. Let's spend $50 to open this chest. Recover 10, I might take that one. Mean damage to the enemy has a chance. Again, what's the point of the what is the chance that could actually happen? It says there's a chance. Is it a good chance or a slim chance? Increase the chance that you win the lottery. Again, what's the chance that could actually happen? It says increases the drop rate by 5%. Okay, what's the drop rate in the first place? Press the ZR for that, whoops. I need some help. Give me a second here. That's right, I have that blue bar below me. On the top left-hand corner of the screen is that blue bar at the bottom. I think he's dropping those magic mushrooms. Okay, we'll unleash the next wave of enemies in a second. Let me see if I can buy something. So I've blown up a bunch of stuff. A bunch of destructible environments, huh? So when we're ready, we can... that's right, when I attack enemies, I build up my blue bar at the bottom of the screen, which allows me to use my special attacks. Like this. But what is that attack? I have gear. Fallen enemies spawn poisonous mushrooms. So when enemies step on it, explodes. Okay. Dress for the slide, not the ride. Ah, that's okay. That's a skateboarding reference, I guess. Uses weapon damage for each space. Again, so it's like a distance. It's like, it's a ranged attack boost, I guess. A 30% chance to acquire 3 more gems from the... So again, that's a legitimate percentage chance of something happening. There's a 1 in 3 chance, basically, that if something blows up, I'll get a couple of extra gems from it. That's nice. 3 more specifically. So that's a very useful... That is a very informative buff description. So thank you very much for those. I appreciate crap like this more and more as the economics of video games get ridiculous. As far as like the economics of, you know, power-ups. All mechanics have some economy in them, right? How much does it cost to buy an upgrade? How much should the upgrade be? All that nonsense, I guess. I don't know if you would call that economics. I guess you would call it math. I guess you would call it mechanics. Chargeable energy once every 5 seconds. That's always nice to have. Yes, a lot of these seem lame. Let's do it. I guess this is the second research stream. ZR. I can't press ZR for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Does it have to be full? Yeah, it has to be full. Yeah, so it has to be full if I want to use the ZR attack. The X button is for that attack. Don't want to die. Don't want to die. Careful. Where do I get my health back? What? Did I take a weird hit from an explosion? What just happened? Okay, I died and I have no idea why. It's not particularly helpful. Okay, so I got kind of sloppy there. So let's do the whole dead cells revive from... Yeah, the whole dead cells respawn thing. Let's see how we do. So the game loads to an empty room. And now I have to load as soon as I leave the empty room. That's kind of bizarre. I don't know even. Okay. Gotta have a cool mask so no one knows who you are, Jenny. Yeah, so at some point we have to unlock her so we can pay for her, I guess. She's a mercenary. So I guess we should just leave at this point. Maybe I could buy some upgrades. We'll see what happens. How old is Megan Rapinoe? She's like 32, isn't she? Like, she's the veteran on the women's soccer team. Whoops, I went the wrong way. So again, yeah, you leave a room. You have to go to a loading screen. If you make a wrong turn, you have to. So basically, I have to wait 10, 15 more seconds for me to go to the next screen. The load screens in this game are really bad. It's a Switch. I mean, come on. We're not loading like Witcher 3 size levels here. I don't know why the loading is so bad. There might be a patch where they can do some, pre-fetching. I don't know. Yeah, this is Shuri, right? Yeah. Hi, Shuri. I mean Gadget. I mean Haley. And this kid's gonna sell me some guns I can't afford. Is that about right? I pressed down. I don't know why I wasn't reacting, but here we go. Okay, Vin Diesel. Alright, so weapon passive. Evasion is increased by 20. What does that even mean? We'll have to hold down the attack button. I forgot that part. 10 seconds. So I get a 10-second charge, like the chainsaw sword in Devil May Cry 5, as I recall. So I can whack on this thing to increase my blue bar at the bottom of the screen. Because every time you attack enemies with your regular attack, you build up that blue mana meter. Once it's full, you can press the ZR button. Not here. Yeah, there it is. So I'm able to use it even though it's not full then. Okay. Wasn't there a tutorial around here? Oh well. Ignore the tutorial. I don't even remember what the mechanic is anymore. Because sometimes I can't even shoot it. Because it's not cooling down. Because obviously there's some attacks where when you use them, like that, you cool down. That X button, by the way, that's my default X button attack. But I lost whatever skill I earned during that last run because I died. Like I said, it's like Dead Cells. What are you gonna do? Honestly, the controls don't seem that responsive. The game feels kind of mushy, unfortunately. Input lag is a bit higher than I'd like. So the game doesn't flow as well as like I played. What was that other Blade game I played? Was it Bladed Fury? I do have a couple of games on this channel that are 2D brawlers. Bladed Fury is another one of them. I think that one's a Chinese game. But I do have video of that, or at least I will have it eventually. I pressed the ZR button. There was a bit of a wind up on that. I don't know why. I don't know how he hit me. Here we go. He got me. So can you attack the heat pumps? Guess you can attack the heat pumps. Because I lost all my upgrades. Fine. Not surprised. So before the enemies show up, we're going to charge up our weapon by holding down the attack button. Spend $50, so we got 142 left. A set chance to earn one additional gem. What set chance? What's the set chance? 1%, 2%, 50%? I have no idea. What's this? 10% when you obtain a ship. I don't know how often I obtain ships. Cryo4 appears, increases the chance. I can increase the chance. What is the chance? Again, not explained. I really don't like it when games do crap like that. Let's do it. Charge up the gun. Okay, swords charged. Go get them. Got 20 more seconds. I saw that red force field. Okay, I think I won. Yeah, I guess I won. I'll take that chest. I guess I got coins. I got 182 somethings. Does the game tell me what somethings I got? They're on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, but I don't know what they are. I got 182 yellow currencies. I don't know what they are. I guess we'll just call them gold coins. I don't know what they are. Hey, by the way, isn't the WNBA on the other channel? Yeah, Ion's showing the WNBA on Friday nights usually, which would be an interesting lead. Yes, the WNBA. Yeah, it's an interesting lead-in for the Women's World Cup, obviously. But America's playing Vietnam. Vietnam, the last team to make the tournament. And America's ranked #1 in the world. Vietnam just got in. I guess they wouldn't call it an automatic bid, but they're one of those teams that's like so bad that's like they let them in because they apparently won a couple of games of international play. Like, there aren't that many good women's teams in the world, unfortunately. I want to say that maybe only 5 of them really have a chance of winning this championship. But then again, that's what people said about Morocco in the men's World Cup. But yeah, like other than America and maybe France and Brazil, who else is that good? I think Netherlands might have a decent team. I'll check. New Zealand won its first game ever, apparently. So that's saying something. They're more of a rugby. I think New Zealand's more of a rugby town than a soccer town. Using sub-up energy sounds good. Again, increasing attack speed by 5% seems meaningless to me. And when you get it up to like 40 or 50%, that seems interesting. So I reduce sub-weapon energy consumption by 50%. That is the least awful of the choices I had available to me, so I don't know what to tell you. X. Yeah, I get the somersault slash with the X button. Okay. So the music in this game is pretty good. Is it seems to be in mono. It's not even in stereo. It could also be just some OGG files being streamed, but it's actually not bad. Like, I would listen to this outside the game, so consider that a recommendation. We could get that core. Anything else here we might want to get? I haven't been dashing very much. I can dash in the air too. Sounds like a good idea. Oh wait, I can do a somersault slash after the air dash. I thought I could. Let me try that again. Yeah, you can do it. You can do a somersault slash in the air after an air dash. So you can probably muck people up if you have enough blue energy chips at the bottom of the screen. You can definitely do some good stuff. Increases crit rate by a certain amount per temper. What is that even? Okay, so it's at the bottom. It says 0.7%. That's a terrible. How does that increase my crit rate? That's completely meaningless. Never mind. Increase crit of all attacks. Increase crit rate by 6%. That's slightly better, but it ain't great. And Washington's losing to the Liberty, who apparently is one of the best teams in the WNBA right now. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they can finish up. Let's see if they can finish the flight here. What is it? The Mystics are missing their MVP, but they're still over 500, so they're not terrible. I think the Aces are supposed to be the team everyone hates because they were boat racing people by like double digits almost every game. Taking damage causing electric explosion. Ooh, that sounds good. I'll take that. That sounds like the best possible. That sounds like the only decent power up in the entire list. 3 choices and they all suck. So we're getting ready to activate the next wave. Here we go. We're going to hold down the B button to charge up our sword. Do it. Oh, never mind. Sorry. That's to go to the next room. So that was a big fat waste of time. Sorry. I was supposed to get a 20-second boost to a couple of my stats, but I forgot there are no more enemies in that room. Yeah, doesn't the WNBA have like a low? I think they have like an NBA. Yeah, they're thinking about lowering the hoop, and Diana Taurasi, I think her name was, kind of tripped out over that because it's like, look, guys, obviously Taurasi's never going to be able to dunk, but I think she's one of those people who's like, look, like this does not benefit us. It's just for show. In fact, I think the 3-point line is a bit closer to the basket than it is in the men's game. It's about the same distance, it looks like. And some of these ladies are just chucking up threes from Steph Curry range. What's her name? Erica? I think that's her name. She was crossing girls up. She was jacking up threes from Steph Curry range. She's amazing. She's like the Damon Lillard of the WNBA, I think. Give me 5 women on her level, and I'm like, yeah, let's see what kind of team we can put together. Of course, she's playing with a ball. I mean, she's like 5'2", I think. But I think she's playing with a ball that's pretty small, too. I think the men's ball is a bit bigger. I think the women play with a ball that's like slightly smaller than a college men's ball, I think. I think the WNBA ball is about the same size as the college basketball for women. I think the men's college basketball might be a little bit bigger. Off the double check. I can go to Wikipedia and find out for certain. So yeah, I can't afford any of this. Actually, I can afford some of this. Energy and weapon is charged every 5 seconds. Charge weapons. Ooh. Interesting. When hit, returns. Woo! What's this? Increases dot. Wow, how worthless is that? Oh, I spent that much money on that. I like this one. The clapback boost. The cactus clapback. Dig that. So what do we got? Press the minus button. Because I'm going to lose it if I die, so, you know. Look at that. Dog. This might be the best power-up in any video game ever. Okay, let's do it. So there's not just one... Well, actually, the shop in Dead Cells had like 4 or 5 merchants in it, as I recall. So that's not unusual. Yeah, I remember liking this song. I think I charged up the weapon. There it is. Ow! That was just stupid. Give me that. 5% chance to reduce damage by one. Reduce damage. Oh, so it's a 5% chance to nullify most damage, down to 1 hit point. Okay, so it's not. You're not canceling the damage, just reducing it to 1. Not a great chance, but it might be a decent. Might be a decent power up. Nah, I don't want that. 50% reducing the energy consumption at 25% is pretty good, but let's see. I'll take this. So a 5% chance to almost completely nullify damage seems okay to me. So we'll go with that. Okay, we ready? Hold down the attack button to charge up the sword. Let's do it. Hit me. Ow, saw that one coming. They were telegraphing that for a mile away, by the way. We're all good. Give me the loot. And when dash, I do like that effect when you start hitting the core. That foreground effect is kind of nice. When dashing, strike the air behind you with a thunderbolt. Dash now at enemies. Enemies are hit with your chance. Not a lot of damage. I almost never use that. Taking damage causes electric explosion. That sounds amazing. So that, along with the cactus thing I got, is going to be amazing. Oh, yeah, this increases it in a way. I'll take that. So let me check on something. So when hit, I do a massive amount of damage. And there's also the core. Taking damage causes an electric explosion. So I'm gonna do damage. I guess that's kind of duplicative. So I guess I got a duplicate buff. But damage reflection's always nice. But I think it only affects the person who attacks you, right? So it could be a boss. If that's true, I could like completely wipe out a boss if it's as strong as I think it is. Yeah, that just attacks the enemy that hit me. The electric shield will take out a bunch of enemies that are dumb enough to get close to me. Okay, you said that earlier. Oh, your weapon upgrade. That's why I'm talking to him. Can't afford any of these. It's a skill upgrade. I think I had that spin blade. Yeah, I got the Kroll. I got the Kroll boomerang last time. The Kroll glaive, I think it's called. Yeah, Mystics are down by 10, unfortunately. Yeah, you guys gotta run your set pattern. Point guard's getting frustrated because people aren't in position. Let's see. Increases AoE of the skill. Increases attack. That's at level 1. Whatever. None of these are that great anyway. Thanks for nothing, Jet Black. Thanks for nothing, Vin Diesel. You know what? Vin Diesel could play Jet Black in the Cowboy Bebop movie that no one's going to allow to ever happen, ever. By the way, when that Barbie movie blows up this weekend, it's probably going to make like $100 million. Everyone's, I complained about this when Batman came out. Well, actually, I was a kid, but I'm just saying. The whole thing about Batman in 1990 was the marketing behind it was so ridiculously ubiquitous that it was like, oh yeah, the movie's great. It's sort of a foregone conclusion. Like, everyone had to go see it. I saw it on opening weekend, obviously. Everyone saw it on opening weekend. Was that good? No, not really. But people really liked Jack Nicholson, which is the reason people kept coming back to watch it. Because a lot of people like Jack in that movie. But the people who said the script is a mess weren't wrong. Like I thought the film was kind of a mess, but it had good production values. But when Batman came out, it was simply sort of setting the tone that allowed Batman the Animated Series to get made, and that solved the problem, I think. Like, what holds up better, Batman the Animated Series or the Batman movie? And I would say the Animated Series does. Because while the Animated Series was transformative in terms of what American Animated Series could be, the Batman movie itself was kind of like, you know, an expensive, high-concept thing that made a lot of money, mostly because Jack Nicholson was so good at it. Like, it was like Jack Nicholson elevating that movie into something that people could actually latch on to. Like, Batman was okay, I guess. I don't remember ever liking Batman in either of those two Michael Keaton movies. And I'm still that guy who thinks Daniel Waters' script, despite it being riddled with holes, was surprisingly good. His dialogue was very good in Batman Returns. So I like Batman Returns way more than any of the other live-action Batman movies. Including Dark Knight. At me later about that. If you're watching this video and you hear me make that offhand comment about the Dark Knight and Christopher, yeah, we're getting to Christopher Nolan now. So now we're having the whole Batman, the whole Barbie movie Batman marketing blitz, combined with the whole Christopher Nolan, who by himself, when Dark Knight was getting released, got the same blitz. Batman Begins did well, but the sequel did gangbusters. The sequel you might remember, it was like one of the highest grossing films ever made. I saw it on like opening weekend. I thought it was kind of mediocre, but we'll talk about that later, I guess. Look, I have a lot to say about Dark Knight, and I'll get around to articulating it better eventually. But I'll see the movie again before I rant too much about it. It's not a movie you can talk about by ranting, because that ranting about the movie doesn't serve any purpose, I don't think. And I feel the same way about people who gush about it. But anyway, the Dash games attack properly and deal 60 damage. Okay, that sounds cool. That's for Dash. When HP fill up 30 damage. That sounds interesting, actually. Increases main weapon. That's an upgrade that works no matter how weak you are, no matter how strong you are. So that's fine. You'll have to be almost dead to get a boost to your damage. So that's something I can deal with. You ready? Let's go. Ow! Bastard. Got him. So we done? It's like the Mystics closed the gap a little bit. They got back to single digits. There's only a minute left to play, unfortunately. I think they're going to lose nobly on this one. We laughed, but the Mystics had a larger attendance for this game than the AN3 crew did for their basketball game. Ice Cube's joint. You know what? He'll probably make a decent amount of money and then just shut the league down because he doesn't want to keep it up, I guess. I don't know. Like, AN3 is interesting because the AN3 is like a seniors tour for NBA players. Like a bunch of guys who are retired end up playing AN3 on it's a half court game. That's basically what it is. It's like playing 21, except you're playing to 50. And they have a 4-point shot. If you shoot the ball like from Steph Curry range, you get a 4-point shot. But you have to be touching that circle. It's not that big, so it's weird. I think if you make it a bit more, I think if you add a more coherent system to the 4-point line, just make it a 4-point line that's like near the half court mark. You know, don't make it some stupid circle that's near the sideline. It's completely absurd. But I see what they're trying to do though. Increased damage dealt to enemy sounds good. Someone with a flamethrower. That might be okay. I think that might be okay. Creates a path of flames from the start to the end of your dash. Enemies damage for the flame. That seems interesting, actually. It's a free ignite. That sounds good, actually. Let's do that. A free ignite that lasts for 2 seconds. We'll go with that. There's only one door to choose from, huh? I kind of wish there were more options when you complete a level, but whatever. Maybe I have to complete the level with like a certain a certain danger level, or clear it in a certain amount of time. Maybe that opens a door. Like Dead Cells has doors that are timed, so as soon as you start the run, you have to hit that door before a certain time, before the clock hits a certain value. Otherwise, the door never opens again. So it encourages you to speed through the level if you want that particular upgrade. And I think the way Dead Cells balances it out is that if you do the speed run, you're getting more currency and loot than if you just kind of sat around farming enemies, scraping every corner for content. So it's a compromise. You look around, you get fewer power-ups, but you potentially get more loot. So again, Dead Cells is a lot of stuff well. I think that's one of those things. Ow! Hold on. Took a lot of damage there. That's not good. Lay out. I could beat this guy, but I took too much damage to the face, unfortunately. Dash. And be sure to dash. Yeah, he can't hit me if you're yeah, from melee range, he can't hit me. If you're close enough, he can't hit you. Ow! Ah! I could have beaten him. I was kind of cocky. I didn't have enough health left. That was the problem. Okay, but I might be okay with this game. I just have to I have to be less sloppy is what I have to do. Well, Mystics went down. Mystics lose this one, kids. Is there anything for me to do while I'm here, other than just worry about the load time that takes me to the next room? Yeah, there's nothing here. So the game goes black, loads this single room, and as soon as I leave the room, I have to go through a 10-second loading screen. It's bizarre. So I'll set up the next video, but I won't start it. It's always weird when, international football games where countries that used to be at war start playing each other. Like when Congo plays Belgium. That's always somewhat somewhat awkward, but that's one of the reasons sports exist, I suppose, on the international level. America's supposed to beat Vietnam by at least 3 goals, I bet. I mean, Japan made it to the championship, and they got whooped by like 6 or 7, as I recall. Still has one of the greatest goals ever in the history of soccer, probably. What's her name? Launched it over the goalie's head from half court. Because they scouted her, and they realized, oh yeah, she's really aggressive. So if they get to the ball and cross midfield, and they see the goalie getting really aggressive, they can lob the ball over her head. There's no way she can catch up to it. And it happened. That was still one of the wildest goals anyone's ever seen in international soccer. Because the goalie was dumb enough to, kind of come she was dumb enough to leave like 30 yards out of the goal area, apparently. So that was probably why she allowed that goal. But of course, the goalie kind of had to be aggressive because they were losing by like 4 goals at that point. They had to save some honor, I guess, by trying to score at least 1 goal in the freaking World Cup championship game. So I can't upgrade my weapons from him. Goodbye, Vin Diesel. Okay, so on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, I lose all my red currency, but my blue, yellow, and green currency on the far right side, that remains. So I get to choose what upgrade I want. I can spend those 3 blue chips on whatever I want, I guess. Increase normal attack speed by 3? That's garbage. Those are the 3 chips I got. So if these are chips, I almost never earn these in a fight. So there's no reason for me to get HP back. If these are rare drops, there's no reason for me to say, oh yeah, increase my hit points when I collect one of these. It's a waste of time. Increases critical weapon attacks by 3% for 7 seconds. Garbage. Again, increases the crit rate by 3% is garbage. The normal attack crits, recharge. Again, how often does an attack crit? Rarely, I would argue. So screw that. And I have 192 yellow coins. Increased by 5%. Amazing. Base MP is increased. Sounds good. So I'm probably not buying that. So I'm not going to do it now. I'll do a separate video where I do a separate run. But this should be not soccer. This is soccer watching time. So I'll do some housekeeping and come back and play more of this game, I guess. This game seems alright. I'll probably give it a couple more runs. There's no way for me to know what run this is there? Like, is there like a stat keeper that says what run this is? No. Why didn't I get all my health back? No. Let's go back to the title screen. What's the point of giving up on... Like, what's the point of giving up on from the opening area? We're going to find out as we fill some more time at the end of this video. This game seems fine. I'll probably play more of it because I'm curious how the Dead Cells design principles kind of play out here. Again, this is a game I'm more likely to play because parts of the progression remind me of Dead Cells. So I'm curious how that'll go. I left the room. I think I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Again, the load times in this game are really bad. That's kind of embarrassing. Maybe they're better on PC. Assuming this game came out on PC, I don't know. I will record this music later, but it's kind of disappointing that's only in mono. If there's stereo, there's very little music in stereo. Not that it needs to be in stereo, but I'm kind of a stickler for that because stereo sound became a thing for me back in the Super Nintendo era, back in the early 90s. So if video games don't have stereo sound, I kind of side-eye them. There have been some very good soundtracks that were not in stereo. Like off the top of my head, FIFA on the... FIFA 94, the second FIFA game on Super NES had a pretty good soundtrack, but that was in mono. I mean, obviously every Nintendo game was in mono, that ain't the issue. So if I give up, what happens? Okay, it probably doesn't make a difference. On the Super NES, mono soundtrack Super NES, excellent question. Because there were some games that weren't in stereo, and I recorded some music, like, I definitely recorded some games in mono, and I think FIFA 94 was one of them. So that's the give up. So it really doesn't mean anything. I'll have to come back and think about that later. But yeah, the Super NES, like, there's no reason to not do stereo sound unless you didn't want to, like, invest the time in, like, arranging the music so it was in stereo. I want to say all of Konami's games were in stereo. There might have been like some European games. Because even Alien 3 was in stereo, even though I thought it wasn't. But there are some games, I bet they were like European or American games where there was no stereo soundtrack. Probably some sports games that weren't terrible. Okay, I'll come back later. This is video number 2, I want to say. So this might be run number 4 or 5. There's no way I can keep track of this, so we'll see how it goes. This is video number 2, Bladed Assault. What are we on right now? Blade Assault on the Nintendo Switch. Physical cartridge. Recorded this audio with my Skull Candy earbuds into an audio splitter to the J5 Create USB-C capture device, capturing at 60 frames a second on my quad-core Windows 10 laptop with the Windows 10 camera app, capturing this footage. I'll double check to see if it holds 60. If it's clearly sticking to 30 frames a second, then I'm not going to upload this at 60 frames a second. It's just a waste of bandwidth. So if I upload this at 30, it's because the game locks the frame rate at 30 hertz. We'll see how it goes.